Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill Show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. And we ask you to review, and then review again. Just review us. Make us that 5-star review. That's a Christmas present and a New Year's Eve start that we would just love to get from you. You can do that on Apple, Spotify, subscribe. We love you as we get ready to kick off episode 69 and feeling fine in the new year.
Well, and we want you to know that we are putting in the extra effort this week. We really are, because the boss actually said we could take the week off. As we record this, of course, it's right around Christmas. In fact, normally if we would have kept our recording schedule, we would be recording on Christmas Day, which was Monday this year. We didn't do that. So here we are recording on the Tuesday before the show drops on Wednesday. But we want you to know that we are here for you, doggone it. We are here for you, putting in the time, putting in the effort, even on this day after Christmas. So doggone it, a good review it's the least you can do.
Yes.
Awesome.
Actually, we were supposed to do this podcast earlier, but the daughter was here. She's getting ready to leave and was going to make them some breakfast. And then just about the time I was going to text you and tell you I was ready to go, the boss, the son, gave me a call. And we talked for a while about his celebration. And so...
Good.
Finally, I said, I'm now available, Bill.
There you go. It's no problem. No problem. Yeah, I was cleaning up the kitchen. I was, I visited some friends, some other orphan friends over the weekend, for a couple of days in there down in Tampa, St. Pete, and ate a lot of leftovers came home with me. So there's some roast beef and there's some pie and there's somebody made some really awesome, like homemade, not out of the box, none of that junk, out of some awesome homemade macaroni and cheese. So some of that came home. So yummy, delicious. It's not going to be a good diet week here at Bill's place. So
that's like my wife. She got, she goes crazy and it's only the two of us, the daughter lives here in town. We see her once in a while back. She's just getting ready to leave. She was here, stayed overnight last night.
Right.
And so she's getting ready to leave, but she had and two people, she has cooked, so many desserts and sweets that if it would stay from getting stale, we would have sweets for the next year. I believe that's how much stuff she's made.
No, nobody, I'm thinking now about all the stuff nobody made any dessert things. The dessert things were all bought. And I took a big pecan pie from Sam's Club, or pecan pie, however you prefer. I took a big pie from Sam's Club, and when you go to Sam's or Costco, those pies are like the size of a truck hubcap, they're gigantic. And so a good chunk of that came back home with me, so that I had some of that last night watching the football game. And we'll talk about that later. But like I said, roast beef, potatoes, macaroni, it all came home. I got Tupperwares out the fridge there. So there we go.
Now that was one good thing. What my wife made was basically enough for the family. As far as the dinner, we had some yams, had some ham, had what they call a corn casserole pudding.
Oh yeah.
And so that was kind of like the main dish.
Mm-hmm.
But then she made stuff out of Chex. She made stuff, the Chex, the Chex.
Oh, Chex Mix. My ex, shout out to Miss Paula in Fort Myers. My ex was a big fan and a really good Chex Mix maker, whatever that is. But she was good with that. Yeah, she got a recipe from her mother, with the garlic and the butter and the all. Ooh, now you got me thinking about that too. Thank you.
And she made these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like, they got cream cheese in them. It's like a cheesecake. I guess that'd be the best way to, like a cheesecake brownie kind of thing.
Hmm.
She makes
Sounds yummy.
those. She got a big old pan full of those every year for Christmas morning. She makes these biscuits with pecans on them, or
Mhm.
pecans, however you say it,
However you prefer.
and probably a million gallons of sugar.
Of course.
And so there's more things for me to have a diabetic coma in the next couple of days than I would ever need, but they will be available.
Yes, and same, and it literally is, of course, as you know, just me here in my little bachelor pad cave, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have, it's gonna be, gonna have to start. The New Year's resolution might have to be like, jogging or something. I hate that idea, but a better commitment to going to the gym on a regular basis. Let's put it that way. So yeah, it's pretty. I'm not going to say it's pretty bad because it's all yummy. So it's all good. So anyway, I hope all of our friends out there, wherever you may be, I hope all of our friends had a good Christmas and shared some good food with friends and family or people you like. Or
and
people
those that you didn't.
Right. Well, so, family is like, sometimes it's, shall we say, challenging or whatever, so I didn't have that. It was just chosen family, friends, family of choice. So that was a good thing for me. That was really good. I enjoyed that. So
I
a
got
lot of driving. I will say that. Roads down, leaving Gainesville from 50 miles north of Tampa all the way through Tampa Bay was pretty much bumper to bumper. And then it cleared out once I got south of Tampa, getting down to Southwest Florida. It wasn't too bad. And then coming back, I was surprised by the traffic on the road last night in the evening. It was crowded, but everybody was in a hurry. So it was like 80 miles an hour up I-75 all the way from Tampa to Gainesville. So.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
We tried, I guess I can say this, the day before Christmas, the Friday before Christmas, I should say, the Friday.
Right.
Not Saturday nor Sunday, or of course, Christmas Monday.
Right.
But the Friday before, I said the wife wanted to, do some shopping, and she needed a few things.
Ooh.
And she needed a few things that we thought we would get. Again, the word I'm saying is we thought we would get.
Thought you would get, right?
At Costco.
Oh, baby. Oh, you're going to Costco on the Friday before Christmas. Really?
I thought people would be at work. We went like first thing in the morning, like, it opens at 10. We were probably there by 10:40.
Okay. You had a chance. You had a shot.
We walked in. The line was from the front of the store where the checkouts is.
Right.
You could follow it now the one, every Costco is a little different.
Right.
But the Costco that we go to now that is open here in Claremont, is the meat section and the frozen section is all the way in the back of the store.
Of course it is. They make you walk past everything else.
The line went from the front of where the checkout is all the way back to the frozen food.
Wow.
I'm talking 10:40 in the morning.
Wow.
I'm guessing, I know they're pretty quick, but I'm still guessing you were going to spend about an hour in line.
Wow.
I'm guessing.
Now I don't have a Costco in Gainesville, and there's been some rumblings, but so far no Costco here in Gainesville, which is crazy. But Sam's Club, so I'm a Sam's member, and I give Sam's good credit for their app, and I don't know if Costco has this or not, so you tell me. When I go into Sam's, I don't stand in line. everything I put in my basket, I scan it with the app and it adds it up. And when I'm ready to go, it's like, you ready to pay? Yes, I am. Push here, click, swipe. It generates a code on the screen. And then the kid at the, they always check you out at the door to make sure you're not like stealing a car or something. Scans it, looks at your basket, says you're good to go. So I don't stand in lines at I don't know if Costco has that or not. That might be something for you to investigate.
Now, I don't know if Costco does or not, but I know we also, before we got a Costco's, we had a BJ's that we would use here in town.
Right. I like them.
And they have that.
Right.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm betting Costco does.
I'm sure they do. They're they're right up there with that high-tech stuff. I'm sure they do. You might want to check into it unless you enjoy standing in lines for an hour. So I guess that we didn't finish the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Did you stand in line, and how long was it?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We went in. My wife was actually looking for a computer, like a laptop.
Right.
That was going to be her Christmas present. That's the way we buy Christmas presents.
Nice.
She goes with me when I pick out what I want. I go with her when she picks out what she wants.
Perfect.
And then we go to the card rack, and I take out a card, and I have her read it there. And I go, okay, there's your card. I put it back in the rack.
Perfect.
We keep it very economical.
I love that.
But yeah, she looked at the computer. She saw one she might be interested in.
Right.
And all of a sudden, she looked at the line because she wanted to grab a couple other things while we were there.
Sure.
And she goes, nope, let's go.
Wise woman.
So we left, but we did get her a computer. We got it at Best Buy.
Oh, wow.
So that took a little bit of time. The most time it took to get into the shopping center and to exit the shopping center.
Of course, with traffic.
But it was like in Winter Garden, big shopping center that has lots of stores. Kind of like, every town has, or every city has.
Of course.
The big shopping plaza with all these stores. And getting in and getting out was a nightmare, but we did get in and we got out with their computer.
Good.
And so, all was good, but then we went to Publix and it was busy, but it wasn't a line, all the way back to the store. So
yeah,
we got the necessities that she needed for, her Thanksgiving dinner and
Christmas.
Didn't leave the house after.
Awesome. Good for you.
We have been home ever since Friday. We didn't even attempt to go out.
I thought you were going to Fort Myers. Well, that was during the week. You went to
Fort
Myers.
My wife, she got sick. I still had my.
Oh, yeah.
So I contacted the son and said, we'll come this week. So actually we're leaving tomorrow.
Oh. Okay. Look at you.
So we're going to go celebrate our little Christmas soiree with them and leave tomorrow and go up there for a couple of days and then come back.
Okay, cool. Very good. Very good.
Well, so good. I guess Christmas.
Tell the boss I said hi.
So I guess the sad thing to say is Christmas is still not over.
For the Odom household.
Yeah, or for that family or whatever. But
right.
To me, it's over.
I hear you.
It was over like Friday.
Well, the good news was the Christmas gift that football fans received was like football. Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was if you were a football fan, and you got banished from the kitchen or whatever, it worked out pretty well for you. So, there was a lot of good football over the weekend. And last night's game, which was the Baltimore Ravens and San Francisco 49ers, was supposed to be like the game of the week. Ooh, the two top teams of the two top seeds, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be a battle. It was awful. The game was terrible. San Francisco, I don't know what they did. I don't know. They might too much eggnog or something like that. I don't know, but they played terrible. So I went to bed before that one was over. So
I don't want to say this out loud because I'll probably jinx it.
Uh-oh.
But I never have. Even in the beginning of the season, I have not yet jumped on the Baker Mayfield bandwagon.
Oh, my friend, you've never been to Cleveland. He was the savior in Cleveland.
But I'm about ready to jump on the Baker bandwagon.
Good for you.
Now, how did he do it? Because I didn't follow him in Cleveland. I'm not from Ohio. I could care less about the Browns.
Right. I know nobody cares. Well, that's not true. Cleveland cares greatly about the Browns, but they're always disappointed.
So how did he do while he was there?
Not great. But in his defense, I think he has the tools and the protection around him in Tampa Bay that he never had in Cleveland. And as a follower of the Cleveland Browns, on their Facebook page and all that, I've seen numerous posts that said, hey, Browns, you had your guy. You had the man you needed. And you didn't take the necessary, I don't know, draft picks or spend the money or whatever to get him the protection and the receivers and the tools that he needed or whatever. So, you took it out on him. You had a couple of crappy seasons. You took it out on the quarterback. He left town, had that, he traveled for a little while, had that amazing one-game performance in LA, and then eventually landed in Tampa Bay where he's having a pretty darn good year. So anyway, I don't know if there's regrets in Cleveland. I don't know if it's an I told you so situation or whatever. He's a likable guy. He's a super likable guy. And I'm not going to say he's a great talent. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a, whatever, but he can do the job. If you give him the tools, he's good. He's good. So anyway,
at the beginning of the
bandwagon,
at the beginning of the season, I thought, yeah. Then they went on that losing streak, and I'm like, just get rid of him. Throw him out of town. Throw him to the curb. I'm thinking, well, let's see how these last two games go, and might be a wise idea to hang on to the young man. He has a 1-year contract, so he'll be a free agent at the end of the year.
And one of my sports talk show, Colin Cowherd, love him. I think he's on Fox Sports now, but he's always like, yeah, you can get rid of him. And he always talks about this with quarterbacks and coaches. Sure, you can get rid of him. Who are you going to get to replace him? Who is it's not like there's a pool of talent waiting to step up in either of those positions. So I wouldn't be surprised if they re-signed him because, he's doing a pretty darn good job. And unless you have a really high draft pick and quarterbacks coming out of college are iffy. Nobody's a superstar in there for Brock Purdy. Okay, great. And he was awful last night. I don't know if he was awful, but anyway. So yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they re-sign him. And I enjoy watching him. So, but now, before you go too crazy with this, they were playing the Jaguars who were playing with Bobby Beathard or whoever their backup quarterback is, right?
Oh, no. They played with their...
Did Trevor Lawrence play? See, I didn't get that game.
And I'm going to give you more sad news since you didn't see the game. Trevor did play.
Right.
But with in the fourth quarter, with a little time remaining, actually maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
Had a shoulder injury.
Oh, boy.
So I have not read up on how he is, but he had to go out of the game with a shoulder injury. And I'll be Googling that when we're done.
Yeah. Great.
So who knows if he'll be there next week or not. But he was there.
Good. I guess I'm glad to hear that.
Although maybe you're not that happy if he's going to be there next week because he threw the ball away like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like threw it to the Bucks. And I went, yeah, good catch.
All right. Ever so briefly, let's take a quick look at that. What's the remaining NFL.com remaining schedules here, and then we'll move on to other things because we don't want to bore people.
I can tell you with the Bucks already. It'll be the Saints, and then the Panthers, Carolina Panthers.
Okay, so for you, for those of you with Amazon Prime, Cleveland Browns against the New York Jets Thursday night, Amazon Prime. Yay! There's a Saturday game that could be interesting. The Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys on Saturday. And then Sunday, let's see, you got Dolphins, Ravens. Interesting. We don't talk about the Dolphins much, even though we're in Florida here. So got Dolphins, Ravens. All right, the Jaguars get to play the Panthers. Sit Trevor Lawrence, let the backups play. Let the kid get some rest, please. And then, like you said, Buccaneers and Saints as well. So there's your football lineup for next weekend. So
Speaking of the Dolphins,
yes.
how about them Cowboys?
Oh man.
Stephen A had just a wonderful, as people know that listen to the podcast know, I'm a big fan of Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, we both are.
He had a wonderful Christmas greeting to all those Cowboys.
That's kind of his laugh. That's kind of his
How
cackle.
about them Cowboys?
I don't know what it is about him why is he such a hater? I don't know, but it's funny. It's fun to watch his reactions. So
But what's even funnier is that he was at home, like probably there at ESPN.
right.
His wardrobe department has that nice little cowboy hat that he comes out in when they lose.
Yep.
A little cigar going, yeah, how about them Cowboys? Well, I think he was home for the game.
Uh-huh.
So he had the cigar, but it looked more like a Crocodile Dundee hat
Oh, okay.
than a cowboy hat. And he was going, how about them Cowboys? So he had a nice little Christmas greeting if you follow him on social media.
Yes. I'll probably have to go and watch some of that later today here online or something. All right. So there's your football. So this is not a football podcast, even though we both enjoy talking about it. And I think a lot of the world, well, I don't know if our audience is into that or not. I don't know, but we appreciate you letting us rant about it for a while because we're just two old guys that what else are we going to do on a Sunday afternoon? There you go.
And then Christmas Day.
Right.
And my wife never really got angry at me, but I think she was busy making her little sweet treats and things like that.
Nice.
I pretty much watched basketball all day long. So I was in basketball heaven.
Hoops heaven.
Oh,
Good for
yeah.
you. Good for you. Okay. So I did not. I was on the road for a lot of the weekend but yes, and then visiting people and friends and all that sort of thing. So yeah, the TV was on a little bit in some of the places I was at, but not everywhere. So I didn't get a lot of television in. So, but good. I'm glad you got your basketball fix there.
Now the holidays is over, and I think I've really discovered why New Year's Eve parties are so big and festive.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
Christmas is over.
I assume, and I don't know this, that like I said at the beginning of the show, I said we recorded this. We would normally record on a Monday. Today's the Tuesday after Christmas. I'm assuming the world is back to work today. I guess they are, right? There's no like after Christmas holiday kind of thing or whatever, or maybe some people take the week off, the kind of between Christmas and New Year's kind of, weekly holiday or something. I don't know.
People who can, I believe, do.
Right.
And, another thing with a lot of businesses, they're, that you have paid vacation.
Right.
And a lot of companies are use it or lose it.
Right.
So everybody's trying to, schedule time off that last 2 to 3 weeks of the year.
Right.
Because they know use it
or lose it. And I remember that was a thing for you and me when we were back in the radio days, because like you said, it would be coming down to the end of the year. And for on-air people like us, there were some periods of the year where you're not taking a vacation because it was ratings time or something was happening or whatever. So yeah, there was usually a scramble at the end of the year to make sure everybody got their vacation time in or whatever. So, and I don't know about you. How many Christmases did you work when in the radio? I worked a bunch of them. I know I did.
I also worked a bunch of Christmases, a bunch of Thanksgivings.
Oh yeah, a bunch.
Especially because, nowadays, and I'll just say it, and a lot of people know it, they do this thing called voice tracking.
Yeah, automation.
Where you can be anywhere in the world and still, like you can be you can be one of the radio stars at the radio station, and you can still be on the air the whole week of Christmas, but you may be in the Bahamas, not even having a radio on.
Correct. That's today. That's not when you and I were working, not so much.
Well, when I started, we both started back in the, 70s.
Way back. Yep.
And you had to have, if you were a 24-hour a day radio station, 7 days a week, you had to have somebody at the radio station 24 hours a day,
A
7
live,
days a week.
a live body in the building. Yes.
And you were live on the radio. There was none of this, I'll just put it on the computer and walk away for a few minutes. You
Right.
had to play Bye Bye Miss American Pie by Don McLean just if you needed to take a crap.
For those who don't know, American Pie is about 7 minutes long, and it gave you plenty of time to get to the bathroom and back while the record was playing. God forbid it skipped.
You had 8 minutes and 36 seconds, people.
He remembers to the second. He remembers. And God forbid it skipped.
And if you weren't playing that, you were playing Stairway to Heaven
Right.
or Freebird.
Right. Or the long version of the Beatles
Shout.
of Let It Be, right?
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Wait, what? No.
Not
Hey
Let It
Jude.
Be.
Hey Jude.
Of Hey Jude, the long version of Hey Jude. Yeah.
I know that, here it is Christmas week after Christmas. Though we shouldn't talk. I shouldn't talk like that. I was like, I shouldn't talk like this.
What?
But I knew a radio guy at a top 40 radio station that I worked at. Will go unnamed, the announcer or the radio station.
All right. Protect the innocent.
But he took Hey Jude and he spliced it. That's where you can splice music together.
Right.
That na 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 na
Na,
na.
na, 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 yeah.
And I think he spliced it into like a 20-minute song. And one night he had a young lady in the studio.
Oh.
Let's just say that particular recording and tape played for 20 minutes.
Oh.
That's
And
all
that-
I will say.
And that's all you will say. And can you?
And it wasn't me. It wasn't
Oh,
me.
okay. All right.
That I will say. It
All right, it
was
wasn't
not
you.
me.
All right.
I wanted to put that on record, but no, it was somebody I knew at one of the top 40 stations that I worked. First, I thought it was ingenious that he did it. And I thought more or less it was a funny joke.
Right.
And he said, no, I had it in the bag in case this opportunity because he did nights,
Right.
7 to midnight. So one night, I guess the opportunity presented itself. So
Wow.
he put on the tape and he played the whole 20-minute song. I don't know how many people know that. Maybe people like his program director don't even know that. But
Is this? Do I know this person?
no. You
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
know. No.
So is he still in the business? Probably not.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
really don't know. I don't know.
That's genius.
I would like to know though, because he was a pretty close friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say this: him and his wife,
Right.
and my first wife, and I
Right.
were friends.
Okay.
That's as far as I'll take it.
That's good enough. I love that. I remember when I got to, and this was before BJ and Bill days, but when I got to Phoenix, Arizona, by the time I get to Phoenix, Glenn Campbell, when I got to Phoenix, the radio station we weren't yet in the computer age, but we were in the age of all the cart machines were interconnected. So I remember the boss giving me the tour on the first day and saying he had like 7 cart machines are like 8-track players. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, cart as in cartridge, as in audio. It's like an 8-track. It's exactly like an 8-track. And you put it in the machine and it plays and it goes around and it comes back to the beginning. So when you play a record or a commercial, you don't have to cue it up. You just stick it in the machine and it plays and it starts again at the beginning.
Unless the person before you was in a hurry and took it out before it recued. I got to put another card in.
Which is a killing offense in radio, which is just a killing offense. So yes, but I remember the tour and he would say, we have like 8 cart machines and you can line them up, song, commercial, jingle, song, and walk away. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'd walk away, but cool. So right there, you could have had your 20 or 30 minutes right there, but no, that never occurred to anybody. And of course it was a big time public radio station. So
Well,
it wasn't
I think
like
I've told
overnight.
this. I think I've told this story before, but I had the very first automation machine.
Really?
Yes.
At a radio station.
At a radio station, the very first automation machine.
And where was this?
Actually, I think it was WOLZ back in my early days there when I was doing middays, and I'd also do a weekend shift.
Right.
Back when you still needed someone in the room 24/7.
Right.
So I would take my son, who was like around 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, somewhere in that vicinity.
Right.
I would line up all the carts. I would actually do some voice tracking with my voice, and he would play the carts in the right order. I'd have them in the right order. Heck, he would even back time when I talked into a song. He would know how to play my voice and back time into the next song.
Awesome.
So I would be in the production room, which was where you do commercials.
Right.
Because I would have a stack of maybe 3 or 4 commercials to do that I was handed to me Friday at the end of the day that needed to be done Monday. So I was there on the weekend, and I would line these carts up and say, "Here, son, take over. I need to go record these commercials." And he'd just be in there just playing away.
So there's 2 stories there. There's how BJ got out of being, in the room when things were playing, and how his son, who is now our boss, got started in radio. That's awesome. That's really cool. Good for him.
Well, when he was like a little tight, I had actually lived in an apartment. It was an old school.
Mm-hmm.
And in the basement was the radio station.
Wow.
And up above, it was like 2 apartments.
Oh.
And I lived in one of the apartments upstairs. So I'd be down there on the weekends or whatever, sign on because, hey, he lives right above. Look at him sign on. So I'd be down there in the morning, and he'd come, in his pajamas and, pulling his blanket, walking down the stairs, and he'd be sitting on Dad's lap when I was, pushing buttons and being on the radio.
That is so cool. Boy, too bad. Too bad we didn't have our iPhones to take pictures of that back then. Huh? No photographic evidence at the time, but that's still awesome. That's just awesome. Good for him. Good for the both of you. There you go. Part of the BJ Odom life story there for sure. All right, look at that. See, you were wondering if we would have enough to talk about or not. We're already halfway through the show. This is great. So I have, when we come back, a tiny bit of news about our favorite highway truck stop. So stand by. We'll have that in a moment. We will be back in just a moment.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens, BJ Odom on the other side of the microphone. We are coming to you. Well, we're on time, actually, because the podcast releases on Wednesday, so you don't notice any difference. But we are actually recording this on the Tuesday rather than the Monday, because Monday was Christmas. So if you're listening to this in normal time or whatever, of course, if you're listening to this 9 months from now, who cares? But we appreciate you being with us. Either way, feel free to stop by anywhere you receive your podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. And you can always communicate with the show. Our Facebook page gets some pretty good engagement there. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast. Remember, spell out the B and BJ and Bill Podcast on Facebook. So there you go. So yes. So we were doing radio stories and all that. Awesome. Awesome stuff. I was driving south from Gainesville. You're on I-75 through Ocala, where unfortunately there was a shooting at the mall like 2 days before Christmas, which was strange for a small town like that. But anyway, that's not the story. As we have talked about, our favorite highway interstate truck stop, Buc-ee's, is coming to Ocala. And I was looking really carefully as I was driving south, as it was daytime and I could see what was going on. And I saw a few areas that were being cleared, but there was nothing definitive, no signs out. And yet, as you're going through Ocala on the way south, there is a giant Buc-ee's roadside, one of those billboards, one of those gigantic billboards now, where there wasn't before. This is the first time I saw it. And all it is the little Buc-ee's logo. And he says, "I love the way you look at me." And I'm like, oh, that's clever. So in other words, I took that as a coming soon. So anyway, I don't know where it's going to be yet, but I know it's going to be Ocala, probably on the north side there where all the highway, where all the where all the warehouses are and stuff like that. So anyway, who knows?
Now you may want to do some Googling, young man, because I know in the early days when they first started talking about Buc-ee's in Ocala,
Yes.
I actually Googled it just to say when, where, what.
Right.
And it actually had like an intersection.
Yes, it did. I remember you talking about that.
And now I forget which one it was.
All right, I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna let's see if we just go to Google and we say BUCCEE in Ocala, Florida. You're right. There ought to be, if you thought Buc-ee stores were big, you're in for a surprise, blah, blah, blah. Where is the, no, April. All right. So yeah, 7 parking races on Interstate 75, just north of Ocala. Yes, I know, but it doesn't have the, thing. It's at least it's not handy. All right. Here's one more thing. I don't want to waste too much time with it, but let's take a quick look here.
Yeah. Cause I do know the one of the original stories that I read,
right,
did have like an intersection.
Right. And it does say here
Told
on
you the
this
road
story,
it was on.
Right. On this story from the Creative Loafing website, which is out of Tampa Bay. They're a cool website with, news and entertainment kind of stuff. I-75 near State Road 326. So then if you go to maps and you go SR 326 Ocala, so there it is. Yes. So yes, it is very much on the north side of town, and it's okay. Yeah. So good. Fine. It's actually well north of the FedEx warehouse and the Chewy warehouse. I always think, cause I know I'm in Ocala, as soon as there's 3 big warehouses that you pass as you're driving south on the left side. There's Amazon, FedEx, and the Chewy pet food people. 3 gigantic warehouses all in a row right on I-75. And this is even going to be north of that. So very cool. All right. I'm excited. I know it's going to be a year or 2 before it opens, but I'm still excited. So there you go. So
I still might have to just go over to, Daytona or just grab me a brisket sandwich here soon.
And the last time I was visiting the lady friend in St. Augustine, we drive by it all the time. The St. Augustine one at the World Golf Village. We drive by it all the time. And I'm like, we need to stop in there someday. And she kind of gives me this look like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we could make it like a dinner date, brisket and or tacos or whatever.
You know what though? I think the object would be here to just take her someday.
Right.
And I don't know if she's like most women I know.
Uh-oh.
When she walks in, she'll go, "Oh my God.
Right.
Oh, I want one of the, oh, I want one of, oh, I need one. Oh, look at over there. I want one of those."
So you're saying there could be a little shopping insanity there. I don't know. I think that's more, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody here, but I think that's more your partner than, and I don't know if most ladies are like that or not. I don't know, but I'm not going to get myself in trouble by suggesting that that's what would happen. But I would be curious to see the reaction. Yes.
Okay. This is Leonard and Sheldon speaking from The Big Bang Theory.
Uh-huh.
I would say you're more of a Sheldon. I'm maybe more of a Leonard, but I'm not that smart.
But whatever.
But let's do an experiment, Leonard.
Sure.
Let's take her by the hand and walk in, and then get your little pad and paper out. And, okay, this is what she does. This is her reaction to this. Go over here to the sandwiches now. Let's see what her reaction is. Oh, that's that. I'd give that a 10. Okay.
Actually, yeah. That would make an awesome like Instagram reel, wouldn't it? Like a Buc-ee's. All right, pardon the language. A Buc-ee's virgin. Never been in a Buc-ee's before. We're gonna just stand at the door and take and film her reaction as she walks in the door.
Yeah.
I like that. I think I need to do that for sure. Yeah, that'd be
You know,
great.
we did not get there in time, thank goodness, but now she'll probably want to go. So she'll have it for next year. But she was wanting to go take a day and go over to Daytona to go to Buc-ee's. I'm talking my wife here. And she wanted to get herself some holiday shirts
Holiday shirts.
from Buc-ee's.
Okay.
And
Would
then
they
I
be
don't
like
know-
matching his and hers? That would be cute.
I don't know where she got it, but I do know one day when we went out during the holidays, she always likes to wear these little Christmas shirts.
Right.
She had a wreath, and right in the middle of the wreath was the little Bucky guy going,
Like he always does.
and I don't even know when she got that one.
I had some friends of mine, a family, like, husband, wife, two kids, two young kids, they're probably 5 and 10 or something. And that was their Christmas photo on Facebook. They all had the exact same red flannel, whatever you call
Pajamas,
it. Costume.
PJs.
Right. I mean, shirt and pants and socks, and they were all identical. And it was like, okay, it's kind of syrupy, cute, sweet. I get it. But fine. Whatever.
That's kind of a tradition for a lot of people.
Yes, it is. The matching everything. Yeah. So
I like it too. And that's not this family. I think maybe we did that one Christmas, if I remember right.
right.
But I like when you see those pictures, you got grandma, grandpa, the babies, mom, dad. Those are, I know a couple families that I've seen that. They're
Right.
all
The
wearing
whole
the same
everybody.
PJs, and it's
Yeah,
everybody.
multiple generations all in the same costume. Yeah, it's cute.
And then I saw one though that was like that, but the old grandpa, I think he just had like a red flannel shirt or something. He said, "I ain't wearing those PJs around the damn house and taking my picture in PJs. That ain't happening.
Come on, Grandpa. Come on.
Come on, give in. It's the holidays, damn it."
The most fun and stressful at the same time of the year. It's just and I saw that on display this weekend when I was visiting with friends, is like, oh, everything was so sweet, and then everybody started bitching about their families and all that stuff and whatever, so it's like crazy.
I think and unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but that's just, the way that you decided to be.
Right.
But I think there are only 2 time periods, maybe 3 in one's life where you actually enjoy Christmas.
Okay. Tell us more.
One, when you are a little child,
Of course.
because it's all magical. It's all cool. It's all like, oh my God.
Of course.
And then, of course, that feeling isn't as strong, but once you grow up and have children, and then you get to watch them go through that phase of, oh my God, this is so magical. This is so cool. Oh, it's the most, you relive it and you experience watching them enjoy it,
Right.
which is a wonderful time.
Right.
And then sometimes as you have grandchildren along the way, sometimes then you relive it a third time. But I think if you don't have children or you have older children like I do,
Right.
it's just, to me, it's just another day. It's nothing I get too excited about. But
Right.
there were times in my life where it was magical. Now it's just another day.
And so, speaking as somebody who never had kids, never had that, I do see what you're talking about, and I do enjoy, the I don't know what it is that I enjoy. The lights and the hopefully people being a little nicer to each other, except in shopping center parking lots, of course. But yeah, and it's fun. I mean, there's something we did. Now, I didn't even talk about this, but lady friend and I went to the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens last week. And they had what they call Colors of the Wild or something like that. if you've ever been to Tampa Zoo has a thing called Zoominations, I think, where they do a lot of colored lights and stuff. So Jacksonville had this Colors of the Wild thing where they called them Japanese paper lanterns kind of things. They looked like paper lanterns would look, except they were all the different animals and butterflies and bugs and fish, and they had a giant whale and everything. It was amazing. I mean, and you walked around and they had live music, and of course people, selling the hot chocolate and everything like that. And for that few hours that we were there, that felt nice and Christmassy, and it was just, everybody was friendly and everybody's, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to each other, whatever. That was nice. I enjoyed that a lot. And I should post some pictures of that. Maybe I'll do that on the Facebook page. But that was about it. No, I mean, and I'm not downplaying it. That was fun. It was very entertaining and whatever the word is. I don't know what the word is, but yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the next holiday, actually, which isn't really a holiday, I guess it is New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're both, in our 60s.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be a night where you would go out, get hammered, have fun, and have a headache the next day.
You bet.
And now at 68, the last few years, it's been like, oh, would you hurry up and drop the damn ball? I just want to go to bed. Would you drop the freaking ball already? Oh, good. It dropped. Sorry. Did you see that, deer? I saw it too. Okay, let's go to bed.
Yeah. Yes. And New Year's is gotten, I don't know what it's gotten to be, but you're right. It's kind of like everybody thinks it's some big party or something like that. Not so much. Not for me. Not so much.
Well, now see, when I was younger,
yeah,
it was a beautiful evening for me.
Beautiful.
Because I was an entertainer.
Oh, yes.
So if you were a DJ or you were a comedian,
yeah,
that ranked double pay, if not triple pay. And if you were a DJ, that would DJ parties, and all of a sudden it was December 28th, and all of a sudden somebody decided they needed a DJ, and you weren't working, and they called you.
Ooh.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money.
Ching.
Well, I really didn't want to do anything, but if I'm going to do it, I got to get this. Yeah, no problem, man. We'll feed you and everything. Okay, I'll do it.
Right. When I was, again, second reference to when I worked in Phoenix. How about that? Second reference. The radio station it was sold 2 or 3 times, so I don't know what the call is now. But of course, West Coast station with a K. It was KLZI, Classy 100. KLZI, Classy 100. And we would, and they really played up the classy thing. And that was back in when was that? Late 80s, early 90s, maybe. I don't remember. When there was money. There was money to be made in the radio business. Not so much anymore, but there was a lot of money sloshing around. And we were Classy 100. And we had our morning show disc jockey was from the BBC in London, and he had that perfect accent. And yours truly was the morning news director. And we had Phoenix cops come in to do the traffic, and we had a local sports caster from the NBC TV station come in to do the sports. And when we showed up at events like New Year's parties, it was full tux, full evening gowns for the ladies, full tuxedos for the guys, arrive by limo at the parties. And we would, like a New Year's party. Oh, was that classy? Sorry to use that. But yeah, that was fun. That was great fun. So anyway, just throw that out there. So neither of us, I think, have those big plans for this year's New Year's Eve. I'm just saying.
As of right now, my plan is to see if I can stay up till midnight.
Exactly. See if you can stay awake long enough to see the ball drop.
And now that they
Ryan Seacrest now, right? Took over for
took over for Dick Clark. Yeah.
Dick Clark,
I usually watch the CBS version because it's country.
Oh, okay. Okay. Who usually does that? Do you know?
I don't even know who. Usually they have. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I know. They go to Nashville, then they go here, and they go to Vegas.
Right.
It's all country people. So I usually watch that one
cool.
lately because I'm a I'm a country boy.
I get it. I like that. That's fine. And then of course, if you're a real night owl, you would be awake because, it's midnight in New York, and then an hour later it's midnight in Nashville, and then an hour later it's midnight in Dallas, and then an hour later it's midnight in Vegas. And, so yeah, I get it. So I was never.
Yeah.
I do remember one year going to bed early, and my brother, when he was still around, and he was in Phoenix and I was in Florida, he called me at like 3:00 in the morning. Happy New Year, brother. And I'm like, it's freaking 3 a.m. Oh, it's midnight here. Yeah, no kidding.
I used to have a friend that called me every night right after midnight.
Uh-huh.
He hasn't done that in quite a few years. I think he's in jail somewhere, though. Maybe that's the reason why. I'm not for sure.
In jail somewhere.
True story, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hear you. True story. Yeah. I've
But I could almost, every, midnight. He lived in the Chicagoland.
okay.
area. So, it'd be, 1:00 here. I'd be almost asleep. Hello? Hey,
Yeah.
just calling to call. Wish you happy New Year. Hope you have man. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, you
Thanks a
too.
lot.
All right, night. Yes.
Good night. Bye.
It was like clockwork.
Okay, cool. So of course, I think we have another show before. When's New Year's Eve? Is that next Monday? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
next Monday. That
Oh
would
my
be
God, we're gonna
Listen,
all right.
listen.
So be thinking of New Year's resolutions, because I'm curious to hear if you have anything planned for the new year there. So for me, it's going to be eat less pie. Oh, and he's already shaking his head. No New Year's resolutions. No, live through another year.
Yeah, that's it. That's my New Year's
That's
resolution every year. Let me see if I can just live for another year. I don't know. I always keep saying next year's got to be better.
We keep saying that to each other. I'm not talking about BJ and Bill here. I'm talking about America in general, or maybe the world in general. Next year's got to be better. And I don't really see that happening. That's the weird part. I don't know how that happens. So, and good God, we've got a big election coming up, and oh my God, it's going to get the weirdest thing. I was listening to an interview, a podcast with a person who's hip deep into AI, artificial intelligence. We've talked about it on the show before. Pretty soon there'll be an AI version of BJ and Bill doing the show. We won't even have to show up. And he said, not this year so much. Not this year, there will be some, 2024. But he says in 4 years from now, when the next presidential election comes, it will be a nightmare, because the video, the deep fake videos will be perfect. And you will not know that that's not your favorite candidate saying, he slept with sheep when he was a kid or something. I don't, whatever. Pick your
He's
favorite
got my
horror
vote.
story. Right.
I'm a
There
country
you
boy.
go.
Yeah, he's going to get all the country boys' vote.
It's just going to be a nightmare of figuring out what is real and what is fake, because it's going to be so good. We as humans watching it on our screens will not be able to tell. And that's going to be crazy. That's just going to be crazy, crazy interesting. So I don't know where it goes, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully we figure it out.
As they say, the world is going to hell in a handbasket, whatever that means.
I don't know what it means, but it sure sounds true. It sure sounds true. So hopefully some smarter brains than us come along and have some solution to this. I don't know what it is, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to live through it. Well, I'm going to live through it. Hopefully BJ Odom lives for another 4 or 5 years and he gets to live through it too. So I'm pretty sure he will. So it's all good. All good.
I'm worn out just thinking about it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to really end on a downer here. So
Here I'm thinking about, staying up till midnight, and then I'm thinking about in 4 more years how AI is going to change the world.
right.
Oh my God, I just want to go to bed now. I don't even want to be awake for New Year's Eve. I just want to go to
sleep.
bed. I want to go to bed now.
Now. Well, I don't know about you, BJ Odom, but I'm going to go have a piece of pie, because pie always makes me feel better. And pie for breakfast is a good, as we record this, it's morning. So coming up on lunchtime here. But anyway, that's going to do it.
Well,
So
I was all excited because I was going to make eggs and sausage this morning.
you mentioned that.
And the daughter woke up and the wife was awake, and nobody wanted eggs and sausage. Everybody wanted the leftover, croissants or whatever the wife makes with the
Really?
sugar and the
Oh, sugar.
walnuts and all that. And so I'm like, oh, so we ate that instead. And I could have made eggs and sausage for everybody, but
You could have been somebody. You could have been.
know?
You could have been a hero.
but nobody wanted it, so they didn't get it.
Wow. Ungrateful.
I know. I was actually ready to actually cook it.
To actually cook, you were,
A,
huh?
a miracle could have happened in my household this morning, but nobody wanted anything to do with the miracle.
BJ Odom. Oh, the day this will go down in history as the day BJ Odom almost cooked breakfast. And if we were back in Fort Myers, we'd just be going to Mel's Diner anyway. So yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
there tomorrow. Maybe I might have to think about that.
Oh, there you go. Take pictures. Take pictures.
I
So
should have the
that's-
last time we were there.
What's that?
I should have the last time I was there. I went with the son after, we went flying with the grandson.
That's right. That's right. So you'll have another.
Oh, he got a neat Christmas.
Your grandson?
I don't know what it's like or how real it is to what you really do in a plane, but his dad got him a virtual for flying.
Right. Flight simulator.
Yeah, flight simulator for like Xbox or something like that.
Cool.
Obviously the buttons are somewhat the same, but you're using your thumbs and your fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
So got to be different, but it's got to be kind of neat, especially if you are into flying and you're working on flying. I hope that doesn't distract from him learning what he needs to learn, because the game obviously is different from.
Is
Real
it the? I've seen the one. Microsoft used to have that Microsoft Flight Simulator for years and years and years. That was like one of the first. It wasn't really even a game. It was just like you were actually flying the little airplane.
Maybe that's what this is, because it is a simulator.
Right. Right. And I've heard that it's really, the physics of it, or the dynamics, or whatever the fancy word is, I don't know, are very much like a real airplane. But like you said, the controls are probably a little different. But you can actually, there's a whole aftermarket of toys you can buy that go with it. So it's like the real, what do you call it? It's a yoke, the real yoke for flying the plane, the real, rudders and pedals and all that stuff for actually flying it, which that could be fun. That could be really fun.
Now that would be cool. Knowing my son, that's what he got him.
Maybe so.
Got him the whole package. I don't know.
Here's another thing that AI will take over in the next 3 years. I mean, you got it with the goggle thing now, with like the Meta, what do they call it, Quest or whatever, and Apple has their Vision thing, whatever it is. But when AI catches up with that, you're talking like Star Trek holodeck now. It's like, never mind the goggles, never mind, you're there, you are in it. So it's that
reminds me,
long enough to see it, and I hope I don't live long enough to see it take over the world.
Now, see, Thanksgiving we were at my son's,
right?
And my grandson has one of those from last Christmas,
Mhm.
and for some reason they got it out. They put it on the old man here. I got into a bar fight. It was pretty awesome. I went up and boom, punched the guy, ducked out of the way. He was drunk, so I had whooped him like no tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I think the game was called, bar fight or something like that. So you walk into a bar and you can just go up to these guys and just boom, hit them. They don't do nothing. You just hit them.
The only time I've ever tried that, I was at Disney World, and Disney has on Main Street, or whatever they call that, where the shopping is.
Yeah.
And and Facebook / Meta had a storefront where they were demoing the latest of that, and I stepped in and tried it, and it's pretty damn awesome. You're wearing that thing, and you got the hand controllers in your hand. So when you move your hands, you move, and they pick up a gun, and you can, like, I was having a little battle with aliens or something like. It's pretty damn neat. I can see having one of those in the not too distant future. That's pretty darn cool.
I was doing old school. I was just having an old fist fight. That's all I was doing. I wasn't shooting no guns or nothing. I was just hitting people.
Okay.
I just walk up the barn, boom, I hit him.
Yeah, until they come up with the game that actually like hits back, and then you can
see
feel it somewhere. Yeah, that's
I got lucky because nobody hit me back.
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, great. See, we're all right. We finished on a funny note. That's a good thing. So anyway, next week I think we need to talk about like New Year's resolutions and stuff, other things that people never pay attention to. But it might be a good time to put a few resolutions out there and see what we can do, right? I mean, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Sort of fun.
Yeah. Why not?
If you have here's a thought. If you have, and I'm talking to our audience, if you have like a New Year's resolution you're planning on implementing or planning on trying to stick to in the new year, and we're not talking about that gym membership that you give up before the end of January, let us know on the Facebook page, and maybe we'll go and, put a few of them together and see if, check out the most interesting ideas and stuff like that. So I like that idea. Do that. In the meantime, have a great week. What are you doing?
All right.
What are you up to?
Going to this kid's house
Awesome.
for a couple of days.
Awesome.
Celebrate Christmas with him, a week late.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Tell the boss I said hi and all my best to his family.
Yeah, actually, too bad. We should have both been there later this afternoon.
Oh.
They were having a little company Christmas party.
We missed the company Christmas party?
I just learned about it too. Don't feel bad because
Okay.
I guess, the guys that come in and do the podcast and
Right.
do all that, they go, oh, we should do a holiday party. And Teddy
That's
goes,
us.
well, yeah.
What do you mean
He goes,
guys who do the podcast? That's us.
I mean, that's in the studio all the time. We don't go to the studio. But they go, and well, I want to take the holidays off. And I go, well, yeah, we got to have a party. So he just said, okay, we'll have a party.
I'll bet they're having a good time.
Well, it's not till 2 this, it's not till 2 this afternoon. What time is it now? We got time.
We got time. You could get there. You could get there in a couple hours. Sure. Would take me a little longer than that, but yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, go have fun. Tell everybody down in Fort Myers I said hi. We'll talk again next week. Awesome. All right, everybody, make it a great week out there. Be safe when you're out there returning those gifts that you didn't want. And we'll talk to you again next week. But up till then, it's just time for BJ Odom to say,
see ya.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.